Alright, so now we're going to add the recording to Google Sheets. So here we'll just type Google Sheets, and here we're going to create a new row. So we'll look for the Append Row in Sheet option. This allows you to create a new row. Now what you need to know is that here in the documentation, I've included the link to copy the Google Sheet. So it's a simple table. So here you click on Make a Copy, as you can see, and there it will give you my file, okay? So here you have the URL of the original file. Let's increase the size, and here the new row will be recorded. So it's a simple file. Now what you need to know is that here I actually have to create what are called new credentials. New credentials, which simply means I'll need to connect Google Sheets with my tool and add what's called the client ID and the client secret. So to make this very easy, at the end of the training, you'll find a short video called Connecting Google Products. It allows you to create a connection between all Google products and n8n. Also here in the documentation, if you'd like, there's another video on YouTube where I show how to set up the credentials for all Google products with n8n. So really, it's a simple connection. I've already done it. So it's here. So once I connect it, of course, it shows me here that the connection was successful because I've retrieved the client ID and the client secret. In fact, these are two codes that you need to retrieve from your Google account. So once they're connected, all that's left is to point to the specific file I'm interested in. So here I'll click here. I'm going to select my Google Sheets file. So if it can't connect, it's as if it's asking me to click here a second time. So here I'm going to connect to re-establish the connection or to synchronize. So I'll click once. Then I click here on Continue. I select everything to give it all the necessary permissions. I click on Continue, so there the connection was made successfully. Very good, so I'll exit. I'll click here again. There, it just brought up all the files for me. So it's this file that I'm interested in on the sheet called URL. Because here we have a sheet, as you can see, called URL. And now we're going to tell it that here in the original URL, you're just going to put this URL, the one I sent. So it's this one. There, we'll put it here. And the output is the last file I created. It's this one. That's all. So we just want to save. So I'll click on Execute. You'll see that it will add there, a new row here. There, so this is the new row that was just created with all the information. And so there I can pin the result. So now, what I'm going to do once we have the result is I will need to send a notification. We can put it from there to make it clearer. We're going to send a notification on Telegram. There you go, Telegram. I'm going to ask him to send the video. It's a video. That's it, there you go. And here, of course, I'll need to provide the ID, but be careful, I really need to point to the last one on the screen, otherwise it won't work. So I'll retrieve the ID here. There you go, that's the chat ID. So if that particular approach doesn't work here, instead of using the term item, you should replace it with first, so that we explicitly force the process to go to the very first node in the sequence. There you go, that's the chat ID that we were looking for, and here in this step I would simply need to provide it with the complete URL of my video. Yay! So this is the output that you get. Here's the URL of my video as required. I can also ask him to add a caption. And there you go, I can tell him, here's your video. I'm going to write, your video is ready here. And here too, I'm sending the URL of my video. The same thing. So I think we can proceed with the next steps now. I open up Telegram on my device, and there you go. Just as expected, it sent me the video file, complete with the URL and all the associated information, so everything is going very, very well so far. Since the information is correct and everything appears to be in order, I'm going to rename it for clarity. We'll call it DocSend Video to Telegram, and the goal now is to actually publish this video on social media, making sure everything is ready before sharing it online. now we will actually need to publish the content on social media. That's why, in fact, if I go back to my documentation, you'll see that I put the Plotato link here. So what is Plotato? It's a platform where you can connect it with n8n or several other automation tools. So what is he doing? It simply involves distributing your video or post to social media. So here's what's really interesting. It can connect to a total of 9 different networks. You simply have to click right here to get started. For example, if you want to connect with popular social media platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and n8n, you can easily find all of them right here in the interface. It's actually an official tool that comes directly from n8n, which is a well-known automation platform. You just need to click here and then click on Install if it's not already installed on your system. And after that, you'll have the option to update it whenever a new version is available. I can confirm this because they regularly update their extension, which is very, very good and ensures you always have the latest features and security improvements. And that's why it really interests me and why I want to use their services for my workflow. You'll see here, I click on block early and I can tell them, listen, first thing, I'm going to upload the video as a sign of appreciation. So I click here and it will allow me to upload the video so I can put it directly on the platform for everyone to see. Once the video is uploaded, I can distribute it to my audience. Here I click upload video, okay? Then I'll need to click here to create the teeth, the ones that dance, which is a fun feature. You simply click to create your API, which is also very easy and straightforward. So the spike, which we'll find on the board. So I go back here, I click here on API, I click there, and here I click on copy API key. I need to copy it. I'm simply going to place it there, and that's it. In fact, the connection will be made automatically with Plotato, and here I tell it, listen, I want to upload the image, or rather the video. And the video, in fact, is there, ready to be used. So here I take this video output and put it here. So here too, we're going to put it, making sure everything is set up correctly. There. So now it's going to capture that video so that it can, you'll see when I execute it here, it's going to upload it to the Plotato server. So now it's ready to be sent. But before sending it, I'd actually like to create a little description for this video. It would be nice to create a little caption with a title, okay? So how do we do that? To do that, I'm first going to, here, convert the MP3 into simply data. So here I'm going to make an HTTP request because I want the system to listen to what was said in the video, and from there it will write a title and a description for me. So here I'm simply going to do a get, and here I'm going to give it, remember we have the URL, the audio actually, we'll go look for the audio. The audio is here, there. This audio here, I'm simply going to tell it, I want you to simply return it to me in file format. So response file, I'll call it data. So now I execute it here, so the audio will be in file format. You'll see why, because thanks to this file format. First, let's pin these two. So I'll add here, and now I'm going to call OpenAI. Now you'll see that OpenAI has an option that allows you to transcribe the audio into simply text. We're going to look for transcriber recording. That's it. This is the option I'm interested in, this action here. So I choose it here. I'll copy this here. Now I connect OpenAI, so creating the credential is simple. I'll need to find the API key. It's done very easily. So I open the documentation, I click on, or rather, I'll go to the OpenAI interface. So this is the interface. I connect with my Gmail on the OpenAI platform. And once I'm connected, I'll go to the dashboard. And there, you'll see there's the API key. It's very easy. I go in here, I click on Create New Secret Key, and you'll see that it will give me a new key. Of course, remember to go here into billing to add a few dollars. It's actually very useful to put in $1, for example, and $1 allows you to run hundreds of requests. So that's very useful to add a small budget. So you have here in the settings a little section called billing, and it's here that you add your credit card to be able to buy some tokens. So $1 is more than enough. So here on OpenAI, I'll go back here, I'll copy the API key code, and you'll see that now, thanks to this API, it will allow me to do this. So transcription, so this content will be sent here. It will be transformed into text. You'll see, it's very easy, it's very powerful too. So everything that was said in the video will be written here. I need to have managed this. I would need to simply launch an OpenAI message to the model, which is called like this. So I click on more, I type OpenAI, and I find message to the model. This is the one. So we're going to call it generate caption. And what I'm going to do, of course, is log in to my incel key, which has already been created. And then I choose a model. I can take a model, in fact, the GPT-4o Mini. It's the cheapest and also the most effective. So there. 4o, there are several, we'll look for it that way. 4o Mini, pull Mini. Okay, that's the one. And right here, I need to add a printout, so I've placed the printout here in this spot. That's it. That's definitely the one we are looking for. If we simply ask him to write us a title, along with a detailed description, based on the transcription that we have provided, it's really quite simple to do. So here are my expressions, we paste them, there we go. So it receives the transcription, it's going to give me a caption and a title. So I also tell it to send me back as a JSON file, there we go, I execute it. You'll see it will give me the two pieces of information, the caption and the title. So we've just finished, we save my video here, it's ready. All that's left to do now is send it to the social networks I'm interested in. So here we go. So here we're going to run this a second time so it can do the upload. So here we're going to put the pin. Now to add a social network, we see I click on block all. This time I'm going to choose create posts. As for the posts, you'll see what interests me. Of course, I have to point to the dot of just one, which is very important here, to choose the platform. And here you have all the platforms, of course. You already had to connect to the platforms. Here it is, it works. You had to click here to connect with your platforms. And here, for example, if I choose YouTube, for example, there you go. It will change its information according to what YouTube offers. I'm going to choose LinkedIn, the same thing if I choose TikTok. Leo TikTok, there you go. So that's the information that's adapted to TikTok. Okay, so I'll take YouTube, and as soon as I click here, it will detect my YouTube channel, and then it asks me what text I want to send. So the text we said will be sent here, this text, and the title is this title, and then it asks me if I want the video published in public or private mode. Well, since this is a test we're doing, I'm going to put private. But generally when I write, in fact, sending to social networks, I put it in public mode. Of course, that's all that's left to do. Okay, listen, here we're going to call it YouTube. I click on run. And you'll see, if he tells me there, okay, then he told me. And where exactly did the photo, the image, come from? That's normal. I need to put it here. And here we take the photo and video that was sent from Blotato. So I put it here. Okay, let's try it a second time. It's very good, so it's been sent. I can follow along and see if it's working well or not. So I click on Publish Post, and there I'll find it. It's in progress. It's like hell. It tells me hop, 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 hop. It's very good. I click on View. I can see the video. I want to click Hop. Here's the video that has been sent, but it will take a month to process. But anyway, the video is published on my YouTube channel. Now, once it's done, I can send a little notification here on Telegram if I want, or I can, for example, come here and post it like that, search for Blue Tato, and also ask to make publications on other networks. You understand the concept, so you just have to go and choose the platform that interests you. And so you add the URL and the description. Sometimes the title isn't necessary because TikTok doesn't require titles. So here, Blotato lets you post to the networks you're interested in. For example, I can add a small notification on Telegram here, saying that if it's published, I'll send a message. So here's a message for you, that's it, and as always, here I consistently put the exact same ID every single time. And here I've put the word published, for example. For the first one, we simply replace it with first right here. There you go, I click. and then I'll scroll back up the screen, and there it is, published, so you understand. So here I save, and once that's done, well, it would be a good idea to delete the pins because we wouldn't need them anymore. Okay, we're deleting all the pins. That too. Okay, let me just save and refresh my page now to make sure everything is updated and working properly. And of course, as you might expect, I'm currently thinking of giving my workflow a specific, unique name right here in this step. So what I'm doing is I'm calling it, essentially giving it a name, and most importantly, I'm going to activate my Telegram integration right now at this very moment. If I send a message here, the Telegram will work, and it will function even if my computer is closed, because it's in the cloud. So it's hosted by n8n, which is a cloud-based automation platform. And so our workflow has just been completed, finalized, and is now ready for use. I can obviously create nodes here to give it a little bit of a sticker feel, to give it a little bit of a description, or even to add some extra context. It's very important to give names and descriptions so that, well, the system, if I go back and review the system later on, it will be easy to read and understand. That's what I recommend, because sometimes when we create a workflow, we forget the different steps or the logic behind them. So, it will be good to create stickers and even put descriptions on the stickers here in this interface. It will simply help us to better find our way around and remember each step if we ever want to go back and do an update, make a change, or improve the workflow in the future. And there you have it. So we've just finished our workflow.